Coming up this week on the Special Chronicles show, episode 437. You couldn't tell by that duck sound. Chicago Ducky Derby is taking over our podcast again for part 3 as my SSI GM Monto and Chief Marketing Officer Chris Winston returns on the podcast for his 4th time. Talk about everything you need to know about getting involved in the Chicago Ducky Derby benefiting Special Olympics Illinois. Coming up this week on Special Chronicles.
The mission of how I started podcasting and started Special Chronicles is giving respect and voice to those of us with special needs. I became an athlete leader of Special Olympics Illinois, and when I recorded the audio of the speeches that I was given and putting those up as podcasts, I soon received messages of encouragement, and I learned that it was a powerful platform and really helping to make a difference in people's lives. 12 years ago, I didn't expect that anybody would want to even listen to me. We have over 42,316 listeners per month. It's a humbling experience. I'm really grateful to make a difference in other people's lives.
Welcome back to the Special Chronicles show. My name's Daniel, founder of Special Chronicles and the Southern Chicago International Global Merchandise, Special Olympics, and from Special Olympics Illinois. So excited to be back behind the microphone, and I don't have the ducks propped up as we had with the last 2 weeks of Duck Derby takeover episodes. But so this is you guys get the idea. We've got a duck here, we've got a crackle here. And so that so excited to this is part 3. It's kind of a trilogy, because that's I think 3 parts. It's a Duck Derby trilogy that we have leading up to the August 6th, I believe is the date, for the Chicago Ducky Derby benefiting Special Olympics Illinois. And right off the bat, before we welcome our guest, we want to do a few housekeeping things. This Special Chronicles show is presented by the ComEd Energy Force Ambassador Program. Learn more about the nation's first energy efficiency education program taught by people with disabilities, including video resources, and original podcast series, and external resource links at SpecialChronicles.com/ComEd. Again, at SpecialChronicles.com/ComEd, and help us fund our weekly podcasts and live shows on Special Chronicles so we can continue to tell empowering stories behind the microphone to further our mission and vision to respect and voice people with special needs. Please join our community supporters and make a gift today at SpecialChronicles.com/give. Again, that's SpecialChronicles.com/give. And some episodes that are pre-recorded, I forgot to mention this, but if you make a $250 gift to this podcast, Tim Shriver will send you a free autographed copy of his new book called Tonight, Voice of Hope and Awakening. And to make that $250 gift, you can text GIVE to 50 to 833-953-2598 or donate online at SpecialChronicles.com/give. and all the links to donate will be in the show notes, the description below. And with that, we're going to go ahead and just take. I know I just did the housekeeping stuff, but we're going to go ahead and take a quick sponsor break and then welcome our guest to the Special Chronicles show. A returning guest on the show. I think the past couple of weeks we've had this trilogy of Duck Derby episodes. All these guys have been returning. But quickly, I want to let you know, special. Let me see if I can pull it up here. SpecialChronicles.com is where you can go to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Make sure to also subscribe to our newsletter. It should pop up there on the website, but subscribe to our newsletter and this podcast. And if you like this podcast, there's the George and Daniel Show and all the other series that we have on this network. And with that, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we'll welcome our guest returning to the Special Chronicles show on SpecialChronicles.com when the podcast continues, as this is stuff you need to know about the Chicago Ducky Derby when the podcast continues right here.
As a non-profit independent media organization, we can only make programs like Special Chronicles listeners. Our programs provide weekly candid, honest, and inspiring conversations about people with disabilities. They create awareness, support, and advocacy within each week's episode. Listeners tell us our shows are an enjoyable and necessary podcast for the intellectual development of the disability community and everyone else who is able to listen to stories about life with an angle. Please, if you and your families love our weekly podcast, make a one-time, monthly, or annual gift of value today. Support this podcast at SpecialChronicles.com/give. That's SpecialChronicles.com/give.
Welcome back to the Special Chronicles show on SpecialChronicles.com. And we're going to welcome our guest returning to the Special Chronicles show. Is my SSIGM mentor and Chief Marketing Officer from Special Illinois, Chris Winston. So please put your virtual hands. I know I feel like the audience only comes in to applaud when we bring on a guest, or occasionally other times. But please put your virtual hands together and your crackles. Get your crackles. Get your cracking. Put your virtual hands together and get your cracking on as we welcome our guest to. Yeah.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey.
Quack, quack.
Yeah. I had to say not only applause, but get your cracking on.
Get your quackers quacking.
Yeah, get that's what. Yeah, get your crackles cracking, because on August in a couple weeks, or by the time August 5th. Yeah, so by the time this episode releases, it'll be in a week, right?
Yeah.
In a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thursday, August 5th, 1 p.m. off the Columbus Street Bridge.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. But first, before going on air, I think I told you that you've been on, whether it's the Special Chronicles show or the Georgia and Daniel show, you've been on full podcasts on Special Chronicles, right? From last year to this year, 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, I have been. I appreciate you doing that. I think I've been on more behind the scenes as your cameraman than I have been.
Yeah, yeah.
Than I've been in front of the screen, but I always appreciate you having me back.
Yeah. You've been more behind the camera with that Abu Dhabi Daily. Hopefully in Kazan.
Abu Dhabi Daily Show.
Yeah, hopefully in Kazan they come up with a better name that's easier to say.
Well, it sounded like the Fred Flintstone. It's the Yabba Dabba Daily Show.
Yeah.
Yabba Dabba Do Daily Show.
And I think on nine of those episodes we did.
Yeah, we had some great interviews, and they were you did. I shouldn't say we. I got with Anthony Shriver,
Mark
Shriver, Mark, Apollo Ono,
Dana
from Africa. I mean, Jenny Fortner, board member.
Yeah,
so many great interviews you did. It was and it was cool because they were all different.
Yeah, and so I think if people want to go to SpecialOlympics.org and search for Abu Dhabi
Daily Show.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So, and if people go to SpecialChronicles.com/Quiz Winston podcast, all one word, or just look in the show notes on SpecialChronicles.com/podcast 437, and then click on your name. They can listen to those other episodes. I think we did a bonus episode with Fox News. We did a virtual sports episode. Yeah. So lots of but let's get right to it since we don't have a lot of time. We're recording this, but why don't you first reintroduce yourself to our listeners? Tell us your connection with our disability community and Special Olympics. I mean, I know who you are, but there might be some new listeners that might not know who you are. So tell us about yourself and your job at Special Olympics and hobbies and yeah.
Well, I'm Chris Winston. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for Special Olympics Illinois. I've actually been here twice. The first time I worked here was for 4 years. I was on the development side at Illinois for 3 years, and then went to Special Olympics International for a year. And coincidentally, at the time, was the first person to walk in the door at the finish line and help start that relationship. Obviously, we had a whole group of people that certainly got it off the ground. So I'm proud to say I was one of the first people in the front door to introduce them to Special Olympics Illinois. Also, Subaru Share the Love campaign, did that a couple of years. Then left for a while. Now I've been back for about 4.5 years as the Chief Marketing Officer for Special Olympics Illinois. And I'm here for the long haul. This is taking me to the retirement Golden Gate. So I had a brother who was an athlete who passed away, unfortunately, in 1999. And I was in the radio business and then just decided to put my money where my mouth, or not put my money where my mouth is, because I went from for-profit to non-for-profit, but and just volunteer in his memory. And then I started working here. So, and I'm so grateful to do so because I've met people like you, Daniel, and created so many great friendships, which are some of the best I've ever had in my life.
Awesome. So tell us now, what's the best part about being a staff person with Special Olympics Illinois, as well as I'll add on to that. That's part one, and then the part two to that question is the favorite part about being part of our SSIGM family. SSIGM family, yeah.
What I like about being an employee, well, certainly working for Dave Breen.
Yeah.
He's my boss. Although Dave is the best. He's probably as much of a friend as he is the president and my boss. He's a wonderful man. I don't know. This probably isn't what I like most about it. There isn't a reason for liking it, but I've had jobs where I've woke up in the morning and it was hard to get out of bed. And, while you do have some contentious days, there's never been a day in the 9.5 years I've worked here that I've never still wanted to get out of the bed and go to work. And I love it. I just love it. And I love being with the athletes, and I pinch myself. I mean, going to Abu Dhabi with you, that's part of the SSIGM family part, but going to the Abu Dhabi with you, we just did a filming with Morgan Gautrat, who's with the Chicago Red Stars, who is the unified ambassador with Mallory Taylor, who is the kind of peeking behind the curtain about where we're going with this right now. Mallory Taylor, an athlete out of Naperville, Illinois, is our Special Olympics Illinois athlete ambassador, but Morgan Gautrat is our unified partner athlete they both play soccer, and Morgan plays for the Chicago Red Stars women professional soccer league. She's also on the U.S. women's team, national team as well. And we just, did a filming with her, and God, she's phenomenal. And you're sitting there and like, this would never happen if it wasn't for Mallory. I wouldn't go to Abu Dhabi if it wasn't for you. And, all the opportunity that I have just to bring joy to my life happens because of all of you. So awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. So we're going to get into much more about the Duck Derby after this next short break. It's a live read. I don't have any pre-recorded stuff for this next sponsor break. But when we come back, we'll get into stuff you need to know about the Chicago Ducky Derby. Everything that you want to know about get involved. When the podcast continues, right here on SpecialChronicles.com. This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. StreamYard is the easiest way to create professional live streams. StreamYard is a live streaming studio in your browser. Interview guests, share your screen, and much more. Stream directly to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and other platforms. Sign up for StreamYard and get $10 in credit with our referral link at SpecialChronicles.com/StreamYard tutorial. That's SpecialChronicles.com/StreamYard tutorial. All of us at Special Chronicles, we love using StreamYard. It definitely really helps. Has increased our viewership. It's taken all live shows and the video episodes of our audio podcasts to the next level. So we definitely recommend StreamYard. Again, that's SpecialChronicles.com/StreamYard tutorial. SpecialChronicles.com/StreamYard tutorial to sign up with our referral link, and you'll get $10 in credit when you sign up. And with that, we're back, and let's now get into stuff you need to know about the Chicago Ducky Derby. I know it's kind of the title of this episode is kind of a spin off. I've never listened to the Stuff You Should Know podcast, but it's kind of a spin off title of that podcast, just with a duck theme. So, this is a trilogy Duck Derby series. So part one, we had Mallory on, talking about becoming the Duck Derby ambassador, and Bree talked about the whole upcoming virtual unified performance. We're recording this. It's this week, but it released yesterday. But it's by the time you get the idea. And then so this is part three. So people heard a little bit the past couple of weeks from Mary and Bree about the Duck Derby already. But from your perspective, Chris, give us maybe if we can bring it back down to the basics of what is the Chicago Ducky Derby. I mean, I know and you know, and some of our listeners know, but there might be a lot of new listeners that might not know. So give us a basic overview of what is the Chicago Ducky Derby.
Well, the Chicago Ducky Derby, I mean, the quick and dirty, which I don't want to downplay because I'm going to really upplay it.
Yeah.
It's essentially a raffle is what it is. And anybody who adopts ducks or quack packs, or we call them adopting a duck, and that's like buying a raffle ticket. And each duck is $5. You can buy a quack pack, which is 6 ducks for $25. So you get the 6th duck for free. And there's different levels of purchase you can do. Each duck has a number on the bottom of it. And actually right now, this week, we're putting new numbers on ducks. We're in a warehouse, sequestered privately in a warehouse. And we're putting new numbers in the ducks. And then I can't with the duck. I'm an employee, but let's say I adopted a duck and Chris Winston gets assigned a duck, 126501, 6, it's like a 7-digit number. They all go into a ginormous dump truck over the Columbus Street Bridge, which is right by the Sheridan River, right out of the Sheridan where the river is. The north end of the bridge opens up, the dump truck backs up, and all the ducks go pouring out into the river. And there's a boon, it's like a net that's in the water, that's like a funnel, and all the ducks drop in. The Chicago fireboat, does a little splash, gets the wave going, and then they float towards the bottom of the boon, where it's only one can fit through. And Mallory Taylor, who's our, Duck Derby ambassador and Special Olympics Illinois athlete, she pulls it out. And so they pull out first place, second place, in order, and they keep track of it. And then they take it to a room up in the Wrigley building, and they name off the ducks. And then if your name, they reach out, they have numbers. And if that number matches your name and you get first prize, you win the 2021 Chevy Trailblazer. Second prize is from Apple Vacations. It's a trip for 2 to Mexico. Third prize is $2,000 cash. Fourth prize is a shopping spree on Michigan Avenue, including overnight stay at the Hyatt Regency. and dinner at the Signature Room on top of the John Hancock building. So, and all the proceeds go to benefit, the athletes of Special Olympics Illinois. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. And it works out really well because not one duck floats away. Every duck is taken out of the river. It's clean, it's environmental, and it's just such a great race, and it benefits the athletes, which like yourself. So it's a good
awesome.
thing.
Yeah, awesome. And yeah, I'm sure you even give some behind the scenes of kind of how that a lot of people don't really get to know about. I know my aunt that lives in the city. I know she has come down a few times. I was hoping to go this year, but I'm trying to watch how many vacation days I take from work. So I probably won't be able to make it this year, but hopefully next year. Just because I'm going to Iowa in a couple. Next weekend. Well, next weekend, this weekend, depending on. Ooh, next weekend from the time we're recording this weekend. By the time people hear this,
Nice.
So, yeah. So let's get it. Share with us a little bit about how our listeners can get involved and why everyone should get involved in the Chicago Ducky Derby. I mean, besides to support athletes like myself and Mallory and Bree, but the other 23,000 athletes in Illinois. But how to get involved and why?
Well, how to get involved, go to Chicago DuckyDerby.com, and you can go there and sign up and adopt ducks. Plus, if you want to get a bunch of friends, family, or coworkers at work, you can actually create a team like you would like a 5K or 10K. You create a team and everyone gets their friend and family to adopt ducks for them, or they can just go online and buy them themselves at ChicagoDuckyDerby.com to adopt a duck. There it is on the screen. And then why do you do it? Because 81%, 81 cents of every dollar goes back to Special Olympics programming and helps to pay for athletes like yourself compete. Because we don't charge the athletes of Special Olympics to compete. So whether it's a local competition right down the street, a state championship, sending 60 athletes to USA Games, or sending the 7 or 8 athletes to Kazan, Russia in January for the Winter Games, or Berlin in 2023 for the Summer Games, we pay for all that. For athletes to be able to take advantage of that, and those dollars are raised by events like the Chicago Ducky Derby. So it's really, really important. Plus, hey, why not? You have a chance to win great prizes, and it is like a raffle too. So I hate to say it, I would hope everyone is near and dear. Special Olympics is near and dear to your heart, but if you're one of those raffle hounds, you have a chance to win some pretty cool prizes too.
Awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and take another, in just couple minutes, take another short sponsor break. But people see going across the bottom of the screen. Again, if you listen to the audio podcast, the links are in the show notes. But go check out the video on YouTube or Facebook. Just look up Special Chronicles and you'll find us. But you can Chicago Ducky Derby.com see also about the prizes that you can win and any souvenirs. They can get souvenirs, right? Like ducks or crackers.
Yeah, they can buy souvenirs, and also those who can't get down to the race, it's you can go to the Family Festival, which was from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. It's right there at 401 North Michigan. It's that big plaza right next to the Tribune Tower and across from the Wrigley Building, right next to the river. And then the ducks drop at 1 p.m. But an hour leading up to the duck drop, we're going to do a 1-hour virtual special on Special Olympics Illinois Facebook channels. We'll do that live. And then at 1 o'clock, if you're in the Chicagoland area, Fox 32, they've been so great to us. They always are. They're going to do a half-hour special, starting off with the ducks dropping in the river, and then do a special from 1 to 1:30 while the ducks are racing. So it's going to be a pretty cool afternoon. Please come down and check it out. And then, but you can watch it on TV too.
Awesome. And so we're going to take a quick sponsor break. When the podcast continues, we'll get into most stuff, not just stuff, but most stuff about the the Duck Derby. That some questions that our listeners might have when the podcast continues on SpecialChronicles.com. We're back. This is you're listening to the Special Chronicles show. This is stuff you should know about the Chicago Ducky Derby. I'm Daniel, founder of Special Chronicles and Southern Chicago International Global Messenger, Special Olympics. And our guest is Chief Marketing Officer from Special Olympics, Illinois. And should I say, it is my bag carrier.
Not your mentor. I carry your bags.
Yes. So you guys stay tuned. January 2022, you might see a picture. If you subscribe to my SSIGM journal, SpecialChronicles.com/journal, which is my mailing list, we might send you guys out a picture where that shows that. Maybe we might throw a few other bags in, right, to the to the mix.
Yes.
So let's move on, and this is now we're combining the last two segments, just kind of for the sake of time. That way we can kind of move things on. So there was a 2-minute sponsor break, but we're not going to take that just because I don't want to take any other breaks on the show. We got all our breaks taken care of. So most stuff you should know about the 2021 Chicago Ducky Derby. Tell us now where we mentioned it a few times already, but tell us where people can go to. Well, I was going to say support your duck sales, but when I had Mary on, it was to support the #1 duck sales team, which is the Darling Ducklings, the athlete team. But where can people go to? And I'll try to remember to put a link to your duck page. I'm assuming you have a duck page, but
I do. You'd have to find my team. I'd have to find the link, but if you go to the teams page, you look for Oak Park Knights. I'm a Knight of Columbus with my parish, Ascension Parish in Oak Park, Illinois. So if you go to the Oak Park Knights team, so go to the ChicagoDuckyDerby.com, find teams, click on teams, and they'll be listing all the teams. Go to the Oak Park Knights, and there's like 4 or 5 of us listed, and you'll see me listed there. Chris Winston, and click on that. You can adopt some ducks.
Awesome. So I'll try to include that link in the show notes. And once again, too, I'm going to keep the banner going across the screen. People see. They can adopt a duck at ChicagoDuckyDerby.com. Again, the links are in the show notes on SpecialChronicles.com/podcast437. And if you guys are listening to this podcast, wherever you get your podcast, click on that link for the show notes, and then from there, people see links to adopt a duck. But speaking of adopt a duck, I don't think we've mentioned yet how they can adopt this. Well, a duck that looks like this, minus the green screen reflection. So how much does a duck cost, and where can listeners go, and how to purchase a duck souvenir, and what souvenirs are available? But how can people adopt a duck or a quack pack or all the either one duck or all the different levels of duck sales that there are?
Well, they can go to ChicagoDuckyDerby.com. Again, that's where they could go, find my team, but they don't have to do that. I mean, I'm just happy that you can go straight to ChicagoDuckyDerby.com. You don't have to find a team. You can just adopt your ducks, and they do go to this. You don't have to buy from a team to be whether you buy from a team or not, your chances to win are just as good. You can adopt one duck for $5, a quack pack for $25. That's 6 ducks actually, and then there's a diamond pack, which I think is 25 ducks for $100. But there's different levels. And also, I just wanted to also thank the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers for donating the Chevy Trailblazers. I want to thank Jewel Osco for being our presenting sponsor, and Gallagher Insurance, who's a global partner of Special Olympics International, but also sponsoring, the Chicago Ducky Derby as well.
Awesome.
All of our other sponsors who've been, phenomenal. Sugar Factory and all the rest. This has been, great.
Awesome. Yeah, it's thanks to everybody that adopted duck and to all the sponsors that were able to have the sports and leadership and health and education programs. But I occasionally listen to Spotify, but I lately have been listening to Pandora. Maybe it's because of that Champions playlist that we did last year. But I like, if you have, I think it's the free version of Pandora, but you get ads like after every so often of listening to music, you get podcasts. This podcast is on Pandora, but you get ads. And I saw, I don't know if you knew this, but there's usually a video associated with the ad, but there was an ad for the Chevy. Well, I think it was a Chevy ad, but it was for the Chicago Ducky Derby.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, right. Yes. They've been doing that. So they've been really good. Chevy's been phenomenal. The Chevy dealers in Chicago and in Northwest Indiana have been phenomenal. They've actually been able to, they do a lot of advertising, and they've been able to go to their clients to get them to do advertising for them, for us, and promote the Duck Derby on our behalf. Yeah, so you probably have seen some.
Yeah, so like on Pandora or like other music listening.
The Connect TV and all that.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome. Sometimes you think of that the ads are because of stuff that you search for, or like because Google knows, or these streaming services know stuff that you like, but that makes sense that Chevy probably connected with Pandora. So
they've been Chevy's been a long time partner of ours. I mean, going back 30 years. I mean, we worked with them. They donated, or Michael Jordan did as well, Michael Jordan's Trailblazer 30 years ago that we auctioned off and made hundreds of thousands of dollars. They've been around forever. They've been so helpful. So anyway, I don't want to get off track. We got to tie it up.
And we're going to try to keep this episode at least somewhat little shorter, because I know you have to be going in a little bit. So there's a few things as we come to a close, and actually the final question you probably won't be surprised with, because it was actually a question that I think that you thought that, well, we thought of together when we were in Abu Dhabi doing all of those interviews over there. But so,
what does inclusion mean to you?
Yeah. So we'll get to that at the end. But let's now share any social media plugs for the Chicago Ducky Derby and Special Olympics Illinois.
The hashtag is hashtag Shy Ducky Derby. Certainly follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, for all that's the news that's fit to print. You can go to ChicagoDuckyDerby.com to watch the show at noon on the 5th if you're not able to make it. We have some great special guests, and I've watched them put this together, and they've got some pretty cool surprises and special guests that people really enjoy it like they did last year. So it'll be a lot of fun. You can watch it on Twitch as well. That's about it.
Yeah. So to watch the virtual festival, like what our friend Bree is going to be on, is it they can do that on ChicagoDuckyDerby.com or?
Yes. If they go to ChicagoDuckyDerby.com, it'll spell out all the ways they can watch it. and they should be able to, I think they should be able to watch it on the website too.
Awesome. And it's it's at Special Olympics Illinois on Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
And
that's the Facebook. And that's where you can watch it too.
Okay. And then Twitter's at SO_Illinois. And then if they want to follow you on Twitter, it's at SOILL Chris, right?
Yep. And one last thing before we go, Daniel. Next week, well, it's Lollapalooza in Chicago, so we do a big sales event called Duckapalooza. Next, it'll be on. Actually, when are we running this? I apologize because it may be over.
This is when in I'm looking at my schedule here. July 26th.
July 26th. Okay, Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow, the 27th, Wednesday the 28th, and Thursday the 29th is Duckapalooza. So definitely follow us on our social channels because we're doing contesting and we're doing various things that people can win during those. It's like a real heavy duty sales push for duck sales. People can win. Like like I said, we saw Morgan Gautreau, who's with the Chicago Red Stars and the U.S. Women's National Team. You can win signed jerseys from her. We've got we got White Sox tickets to go see the Chicago White Sox. We've got all sorts of various things that people can win. So, gift cards. So on, Tuesday the 27th, Wednesday the 28th, Thursday the 29th, make sure to follow us on social and have a chance to adopt ducks and win some prizes above and beyond. So you can win prizes instantly, along with the chance of winning those prizes on Duck Race Day.
Awesome. And so we're going at the very end. Well, people won't be able to see this, but audio or video viewers. But the 15-second Chubby Drive Chicago ad for the Duck Derby, I found it, and so I'll play that at the end
cool.
after we sign off. So all the links ChicagoDuckyDerby.com we'll put in the show notes. And again, it's August 5th. Thursday, August 5th is the Duck Derby Day. Performances at noon, and then with the virtual festival, and then splashdown at 1 p.m. Central Time.
1 p.m. Central. Yep.
Awesome. So any final thoughts on your overall time here today? This is your fourth time on a podcast on SpecialChronicles.com.
No, I'm so appreciative that you had me, Daniel. We get working hard, and these are the moments I appreciate. I know you and I talk every week, and that's the best meeting of my week, and so is that. So I just thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, anytime. And so now, instead of me asking the question I always conclude these conversations with, these podcasts with, I'll have you ask the question, then also answer it yourself as well. So
what does inclusion mean to me? Well, to inclusion, like I may have said this before, but inclusion is something we should all be doing, I think. And, we're all different. And I look at it the other way too. It's like, I find that when people criticize others and find fault in people's differences, to me, that's hypocritical because we all have differences. Some are greater than others. And you have strengths that I don't have, Daniel, and I have strengths that you don't have. That's just the way the world works. It's not a bad thing. It's just I think Gallup says there's 36 strengths in the world, and we may have 5 of them of the 36. The other 31 are non-strengths, not weaknesses. But and to that end, but we all coexist, and we're together. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, why not be inclusive? Because if you're not, it's just hypocritical. So that's why I loved and defeated into Duck Derby. That's what I'm loving about Duck Derby right now. You've got Mallory Taylor, who was a soccer player at one time, and being a unified ambassador with Morgan Gautreau, who is a soccer player at a high level, and they're together not only in sport but with the Duck Derby, but in life. So they formed a friendship. They shared numbers and phone numbers, and you can tell there's a friendship that started with that filming. So
awesome.
That's what it's all about.
Awesome. So that's a great way to conclude this episode. That's a wrap. At the very end, we'll play a 15-second Trophy Drive Chicago ad for the Duck Derby. And then at the very end, after the outro, we've got a couple of brief audio clips of what's coming up on the Special Chronicles show in August 2021. So some exciting episodes from our friends Renee and Hannah joining the podcast to talk about the Sona Mood Challenge. We've got a live audio from hosting a Q&A with Oscar Muniz at United Airlines, and much more good content coming. We're already planning season 2, 4 new episodes in October with our Unified Work series. So lots of content. You guys, if you are not subscribed or follow, I think now it's follow, but follow, subscribe, do what you do with this podcast. Make sure to subscribe and follow, because you don't want to miss some more empowering stories right here on SpecialChronicles.com. And yeah, so until then, remember, choose to include.
Bye-bye. So buddy Eric Ferguson from the mix. He's the man.
Awesome. Yeah, so that oh, I should mute that. That's a great way to conclude. I didn't plan to play that little ad, but yeah. So Chris, hopefully we'll have you back on the show, and stay subscribed, and remember, rate and review us, and we'll see you next week right here on SpecialChronicles.com.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
I looked at my own life for what has really helped me on my journey. And the thing that changed my life was finding my voice and learning how to use it. This is called advocacy.
Please go and subscribe to the Special Chronicles show on Apple Podcasts, the iHeartRadio app, and wherever you listen to podcasts. I'll see you on the show. Coming up on the Special Chronicles show, July and August 2021. Thank you, Oscar. Back rocks. Thank you, Oscar, and United Family for choosing to include and accept us. 5 people? 5 people.
Daniel, I'd love to do your podcast. Anytime you want to do that. No. And thanks for being here. I'm proud of you. Oh, gosh, 5 so many people.
Clean it up. Go and subscribe to the Special Chronicles show on Apple Podcasts, the iHeartRadio app, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. I'll see you on the show. Coming up on the Special Chronicles show, July and August 2021.
As a health messenger, I've come to realize that what inclusive health means to me, particularly with the medical care profession, is that they are listening to you. Doctors are actually taking the time to hear about your concerns and what you need. They are not.
Please go and subscribe to the Special Chronicles show on Apple Podcasts, the iHeartRadio app, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. And I'll see you